Good morning folks, and welcome back to the track. Today I'm pleased to say I have taken delivery of a new car to go in the collection and run on this track, and this is a pretty special car. It's a car that I've been hankering to get hold of for over 2 years after seeing it at the International Slot Car Festival in 2018. And this is the car. Welcome to the Sideways Lamborghini Huracan Carbon Special Edition. We're going to have a close look around the car, look at some of the details. We're going to get the body off and have a look at the motor and the chassis. We're then going to fire up the motor, see what she sounds like, and then take her on a quick sprint around my track. All that is coming up right now. Not all slot cars are made by Scalextric, and this one is made by a French company called Sideways Racer. That said, it has a lot of Italian DNA in it. If you look at the car, you can see that this front splitter here sits dangerously close to the surface of the track. In fact, it's virtually touching the surface of the track. But the detail on the bodywork is absolutely awesome. I love the way they've done the bonnet section here, the way the glass windscreen rakes back. We've got the louvres over the top of the wings here, all beautifully done. Even the single windscreen wiper, all done to absolute detail. These front wheels are made of plastic and contain hard rubber, but at the back the wheels are completely different. So as we come down the side of the car here, you've got the tricolour stripe going down the door, as well as the vents that let the air go down the side of the door. Lovely touch with the door handle there. And as we come to the wheels, we've got the aluminium rear air system wheels. These are actually aluminium wheels, not plastic. You can see the glass here, which has been nicely done with the pop rivets going around the outside. And of course the roof, which is a completely different colour from the rest of the bodywork. And as we come to the back of the car, we have of course got the Lamborghini ALA spoiler on the back. You can of course see a really nice touch with the rear exhaust system there, and of course the rear diffuser. Inside of the car, I really do like the way they've got the dash pods pointing towards the driver, and you've also got, if you look on the passenger side, the GT3 emblem embossed into the dash itself, which is a really nice touch. And of course finally, because it is designed as a full-on race car, we have actually got the roll cage in it as well. Now I'm hoping that you can see in this light the reason why this is called the carbon edition of the Lamborghini, and that's because if you look carefully you can actually see the carbon weave going around the whole of the body. So let's just have a quick look at the underside of the car, and it's definitely a different view than you'd get from a Scalextric. Lot more screws in the back here. You can see the angle mounted Raptor motor revving to 21,400 revs per minute. And of course the gear cogs on here are actually made of metal and not of plastic or nylon like you would get on a standard Scalextric car. So a very, very different car from the underside when you really start to look at it. So now we've got the body shell off, you can see it's a very different story from what you'd see in a normal Scalextric car. Very high quality braiding and very clean wires going to the motor from the front. We've got, of course, we already saw the Raptor 21,000 revs motor going to a beautifully meshed gear system on the back, proper metal gear system. And we've also got the metal bearings as well, the lightweight floating bearings on the back. Now the rubber on the back for the tyres is actually soft rubber to give it optimal grip. And these wheels here, as we said earlier, are proper aluminium lightweight wheels. Now one other little detail as we look at the axle here are these tiny little screws that you can adjust to adjust the angle of the front axle. They are really, really tiny, and just to give you an idea of how small they are, let's have a look at them compared to a normal modelling screwdriver. Now, to give you an idea of just how wide and low the Huracan is compared to the Gallardo that I have on the track, I've put the two together. You can see it's a lot lower to the track. The roof is a lot lower as well. And if we come round the back of the car, you can see just how wide it is when sat next to the Lamborghini Gallardo. Having looked round the car, let's fire her up, get that motor running for the first time and see what she sounds like. So it's finally time to give this Lamborghini Huracan Carbon Edition a run on the track. I have no idea how it's going to go. It's going to be a very gentle run. I'm not going to push it hard. I really don't want to crash it, or at least not too early into its ownership. So we're going to give it a gentle run now. No lap timer, not having any kind of lap timing running or anything like that at this point. It's just a matter of seeing how it runs and getting used to the car. So here we go. You can literally tell by the way it's sort of flat to the track. This thing is going to be fast when you've got it on a proper professional track. It's clearly designed for the pro tracks rather than the hobby tracks. There's no question that this car is, without doubt, designed to be a proper race car rather than a hobby car, if that makes sense. Very different feel to this. It's running nicely on the track, but I can hear the front spoiler there clicking a bit as it catches some of the connections on the track. Really must look and see if we can raise the suspension on this car. Let's give it a bit of a push now. I have to say it looks amazing. Oh, we've got a bit of a slide there. We are starting to get a bit of a slide. Remember, no magnets in this car, nothing to keep it pinned down other than the chassis itself and the spoilers on the front and the back. Starting to open it up a little bit now. It runs so smoothly compared to the others. And because it's so low to the ground here, we are going to have to do some adjustments to the track. I have to say, this car is an absolute joy to drive. But you really have to be ready to get your finger off the trigger when you come down the straight, because it doesn't decelerate in the same way as the Scalextric's cars do. The motor seems to need time to wind down, if that makes sense. Otherwise you're going to end up going into the hedge very easily. what we could be looking at here is probably my first car that will crack 200 miles an hour scale speed, I believe. The way this thing just drives, it's warming up beautifully now. Really is. I love the way it takes striker corner. Doesn't have any problems, if you can see here, look. Look at the way it goes into striker. Unbelievable. It literally just glides around striker. This is going to be, when it comes to setting a lap time, this is going to be a fast car. I certainly hope so. Okay, we're just going to bring her in steady now. Let that motor cool off. So there you go, folks. That was a pretty impressive start to my Sideways Lamborghini Huracan Carbon Edition. And the other thing I didn't mention was that with this car you also get an official Lamborghini keyring as well. Now, there will be lots more stuff to come with this car. I'm going to do a track test with it to see just how fast it can get around this track. I also want to get it onto some professional tracks in the near future to see how it operates and how well it does on a proper pro track as well. And there's also lots more stuff to come with other cars in the near future. So in the meantime, thanks for watching, have fun, and I'll catch you in the next one.